what I like particularly about issue 4 of House of M is through the tie-ins that we've gone through with Uncanny X-Men in the first 3 issues, we have not seen hide nor hair of Magneto since that first issue when Wanda changed reality. All we've known so far in this new universe is that he is a force to be reckoned with. No one really steps out of line with him, and if they do, there's always hefty consequences, as we saw with Captain Britain and the Britain Squad. So this issue, before we can dive into everything about Logan being taken by the Underground Resistance in New York, but before we dive into that, if you guys want to know what's been going on, if you haven't been keeping up, pause this, feel free to check out the readout. I haven't had enough coffee today. People working on this book is Brian Michael Bendis as the writer. Penciler was Olivier Copiel. Inkers was Tom Townsend and Rick Magyar. Colorist was Frank D'Armata. Letterist Chris Yiannopoulos. And then there's everyone else working on the book. Now you're thinking that we're going to see what's been happening with Logan, but as we open the page, everything is kind of quiet. And we see that this is Genosha, Castle, Magnus. And we just get these establishing shots with Magneto walking out onto his pier. And while he's lost in thought, we see Grandpa, I made this for you. And then we get these child's eyes and he goes, with my mind. And then we still don't know what Magnus is thinking. Is he pleased with what his grandson's doing? Is he concerned? It's just a very, a vague feeling. And we get nothing else after that because we change the page and we go into the Resistance. We find out that the person that took Logan was Hawkeye. And that's going to be significant if you guys didn't read X-Men and Avengers at this time, and I'll elaborate here in a minute. But Hawkeye says, do what the man said. We know your shield. You're Shaw's Red Guard army. You called me Cage. How do you know my name? There's a tracker device on the back of your neck. It tells the eye in the sky where you are. Pull it out, or I do it for you. Cage, I need you to calm down so I can find some. And they just shoot Wolverine right in the head. Now, from what I understand, Cage took Logan because they keep an ear on the inside of the shield Hera. You guys know what I'm trying to say. But what's interesting here is Shaw. He uses the word Shaw. So we find out that Sebastian Shaw is the leader of the Red Guard, or the Red Shield Army, or whatever they're called. Which is interesting considering the fact that that's the Hellfire Club. And now before anything else can be said, Logan wakes up and he goes, and everyone's just kind of like, what the hell? How long was I out? How the hell are you still alive? How long? 30 seconds-ish. Too late. Too late for what? And I love the splash page. And when I first saw the Sentinels and I saw this very Victorian era, I was like, that makes no sense to me. But now that Hawkeye dropped the Shaw name, you're going to have that Victorian era kind of Hellfire look about your Sentinels, because why the hell not? That Sebastian Shaw, he's very much into that Victorian era of stuff. Now, before anything else can happen, Luke has to, in a sense, make a sacrifice. So as they blow up their hideout, they have to leave. How do they do it? Read the book. But Luke is starting to see the heavy consequences of being the Resistance leader. And another thing about this book that I didn't know up until this point, until I looked it up online, the Underground Resistance here, this is Cloak, Daniel Rand, the Iron Fist, Felicia Hardy, the Black Cat, White Tiger, Luke Cage, Misty Knight, Mark Spector, of course, Hawkeye. And I've never heard of Agent X, so if you guys could kind of fill me in on who that character is, please let me know, because I have zero idea. Now, again, why they took Logan, they found out he went AWOL. And Cage basically says, we heard rumors that S.H.I.E.L.D.'s Shining Star went AWOL, and we wanted to have a talk with you considering things that I have been told. And Logan says, there's a good chance I've popped my cork altogether, and this is it, but as long as I'm here, one of the X-Men's biggest problems in the world was Eric Magnus, Magneto, because he had, everyone knows who he is. Well, he had a couple of kids. Everyone knows that too. Wanda. And I just love the use of shadows here. He goes, the human one. What? Pietro, Lorna, and Wanda. Wanda is the human one. What the hell does that mean? And it's just a very interesting take that all of a sudden Wanda's the human one. So that makes Kenny wonder what's going to happen as this event continues to unfold. Now it gets a little heavy reading. They got to do some sort of exposition dump to explain why Logan is here. And he goes, Luke, you don't remember that either of us were Avengers? No. And then he talks about, and this is where I was talking about with Hawkeye. So if you haven't read this and you don't want to be spoiled, pause this, go check out the comics from this time period and come back, and you're back. So he goes, she murdered all the famous superheroes. So we went off to Genosha, where Magneto was keeping her. And when we did, the world went white, and I woke up to this. White? Yeah, upside down and sideways on every other level. Magneto turned himself from exiled mass murder to king of the world. There ain't no X-Men, there ain't no Avengers. Mutants run the place, a damn mutant utopia. And this is where he tells Hawkeye that he was one of the heroes that died at Wanda's hands. And he goes, go to hell. This is some whacked out mutant trick to get us to... What kind of trick, Felicia? They had us. I got a kid coming. That's what I saw. That's right, you and Jessica. Wait, you saw... If you're lying to me, what'd you see? And what are you, Moon Knight, Iron Fist, right? What the hell are y'all supposed to be? So he says that there are the underground resistance. And Luke says that the only reason I haven't killed you at this point is because of what this little girl has told me. He goes, yesterday that girl walked up to me out of the blue and said exactly what you just said. X-Men, Avengers, Hawkeye, dead. And so we get a quiet moment, and Logan goes, who are you? Layla. Like the song? No. Where'd you come from? I just go to PS45. My parents, we live in Hell's Kitchen, and I woke up yesterday and the world was wrong. And nobody knows. I mean, can you hear what I'm thinking? No. What? But you remember everything. Yeah, I mean, I woke up and everything was all... I thought I was crazy. My parents were the same, but everything else was... I mean, what's going on? Am I crazy or not? You're not crazy. Are you sure? If you are, then we both are. And he essentially just tells her, as the book goes on, he goes, happy birthday. He explains that mutants, when they hit puberty, that's when the X gene kicks in. So you find out that Layla is essentially sort of like Logan, a lightning rod to what reality is supposed to be. Magneto's got the daughter to give us all we want, always wanted. So he could have what he's always wanted. How would he even know what we'd always wanted? Charlie. Is there a phone book in here? Because remember, last issue, Logan went on a trek to try to find Charles Xavier. So since he's missing, the first place they visit, Emma Frost. And she's like, what the hell? Hi, Ems. Are you robbing me? Yeah, don't worry about not being able to answer. That's me telling your brain to do what I want it. That's what I do. And I don't want to hear from you. And then she's like, you know what they do to humans that... Wait, what the hell was that? What'd you just think? How do you know me? You're in my brain, Emma. Take a look. What the hell is this? What? I didn't say anything. And then Emma gets a reality break. We get a tease on where Charlie is. And I love how Emma goes, House of Magnus, House of Magnus, Logan, we're gonna find Magnus and oh, this is it, we're gonna kill him and his kids. Yeah, I got no problem with that. But we're gonna need a lot more than just us. So we come to find out that Layla essentially has the power to re-kick everyone's memories. So we start to see Logan's army start to build, and the rage as everyone starts to become themselves again. And that's what really makes this issue interesting. I mean, yes, it's a lot of exposition, but overall, the artwork's on point. You feel the tension starting to build up. The introduction of Magnus in this reality, that little subtle hint about Wanda no longer being a mutant. So how the hell are we going to get the witch to reverse what she's done? And that's why this particular issue is important. So if you've enjoyed what you've seen, please first and foremost support your local comic shop or wherever it is to get your action figures and comics, and grab this issue as well as the tie-ins that you want to find out about and the rest of this main series. If you've enjoyed this review, really would appreciate if you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the channel more than you could possibly know. And if you don't mind hitting that fancy little Magnus bell next subscribe, that was a Quintuple content. You guys get notified. Come to the channel, and I love talking with y'all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments or the socials. Which I'll make sure that the links down in the description. So with all that said, hope y'all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, everyone.